Did you know that after the age of 60, almost half of people can no longer sleep through an entire night without waking up several times? It may sound familiar. You go to bed tired, you manage to fall asleep, and suddenly at 2 or 3 in the morning your eyes open for no apparent reason. And the most unsettling thing is that this silent habit, which many consider normal with age, actually hides serious risks for the heart, memory, and even your life expectancy. And today, I want to accompany you calmly and simply to talk about a surprising natural remedy that can help you regain deep rest in just 3 nights. I won't give you the full answer yet, because first I want you to understand what happens in your body and why this problem should not be ignored. You may be wondering, if so many older people suffer from this problem, why isn't there a simple and safe solution? The answer, surprisingly, may be found in something as common as ginger. This root, which for centuries has been part of traditional medicine in countries like China and India, was not only used for the stomach or cold, but also to calm the body before sleeping. Imagine an ingredient so humble and accessible that you may already have it in your kitchen, which could become your best ally for sleeping better each night. The secret of ginger is not only its age-old tradition, but also the modern science that supports it. Inside this root are compounds called gingerol and shogaol, which help improve circulation, relax the muscles, and reduce small inflammations that can disrupt sleep. In addition, it has been seen to influence the natural regulation of cortisol, the stress hormone, and to promote the production of serotonin, that substance that prepares the brain for restorative rest. That's why it's no coincidence that entire cultures have used it for centuries as a natural calming agent before sleep. Many of my patients tell me, "Doctor, I've already tried everything. Herbal teas, sleeping pills, relaxing music, and nothing works for me." And I always respond that sometimes the most effective thing is not the complicated or the expensive, but the simple, the things that come from nature and have been right in front of us all along. Today I want to tell you about a very special and very gentle method to start with. Ginger with rock sugar. Perhaps you've never tried it this way, but let me explain why it can be a key to open the door to calmer nights of sleep. Imagine this. It's 9 p.m., you've finished a light dinner, you've already put on your pajamas, and instead of going straight to bed, you prepare a small cup of this warm, sweet mixture. The aroma of ginger begins to fill the kitchen. That warm smell, a little spicy, yet comforting. And while you wait for it to cool, you feel your body already starting to relax, as if anticipating that something good is about to happen. Why does this combination work? Ginger, as I said before, has the ability to improve circulation and relax the nervous system. But when we combine it with rock sugar, which is a natural sweetener, purer and less harsh than refined sugar, we achieve 2 important effects: softening the flavor of the ginger so that it is more pleasant before bedtime, and giving the body a small signal of stable energy that prevents those sudden awakenings in the middle of the night. I'm going to give you a very simple recipe. Take a piece of fresh ginger the size of your thumb. Wash it well, you don't need to peel it, and slice it thinly. Then, place those slices in a cup with freshly boiled hot water. Add 1 or 2 small pieces of rock sugar. You can find them in stores, herbal shops, or even in some supermarkets. Let everything steep for about 5 to 7 minutes until the water takes on that yellowish color and the aroma becomes intense. And then drink it slowly as if it were a little ritual. As you sip this infusion, think about your day. Allow yourself to let go of your worries. Let the warmth travel through your body. The rock sugar softens the ginger's bite, makes it kinder to your palate, and that light sweetness also sends your brain the signal that it's time to slow down. Now you may be wondering, what if I can't find rock sugar? Don't worry. You can substitute it with a little honey. Although the effect won't be exactly the same if you have the chance to get rock sugar, you'll notice the difference in the texture and in how your body receives it. I want to share a small story. One of my patients, Olivia, 72 years old, told me that she had been waking up every 2 hours to go to the bathroom for almost 10 years. She was desperate because she could no longer enjoy her sleep, and every morning she woke up more tired than the night before. When I recommended this recipe, she looked at me doubtfully and said, "Ginger with sugar, doctor." That sounds strange, but she agreed to try it. 2 weeks later, she came back to my clinic with a huge smile. She told me that for the first time in many years, she had managed to sleep almost 6 hours straight. It wasn't magic or a miracle. It was consistency and trust in something so simple. That said, let me give you some practical tips. Don't make this drink too strong. Sometimes we think that more is better, but with ginger it doesn't work that way. Too much can cause heartburn or stomach discomfort. Ideally, start with 2 or 3 thin slices and adjust gradually according to how you feel. Also, always drink it an hour before going to bed, not right before lying down, so your body has time to process it and to prevent digestion from interrupting your rest. It's also important not to turn it into a daily habit for entire months. The recommendation is to use it as a supportive treatment, especially in those weeks when insomnia or nighttime awakenings become more bothersome. You can alternate it with other gentle infusions like chamomile or linden, tila, to add variety to your nighttime routine. Another detail I want to underline is the environment. It's not enough to drink the infusion and then keep looking at your cell phone or the television. The body needs clear signals that it's time to sleep, so accompany it with a small ritual. Dim light, silence, or very soft music. Deep breathing. Ginger with rock sugar acts like a key, but the door to deep sleep is opened by you with your habits. You might now be thinking, "Doctor, does it really work that fast?" And the answer is that for many people, yes. Some notice changes from the first week. Others need a little more time. But what I like most about this method is that it does not create dependence. It doesn't have the side effects of sleeping pills, and it also provides extra benefits for your digestion and circulation. Remember that later I will tell you about 2 other very powerful ways to use ginger, one of them even without needing to drink it. But this one with rock sugar is the gentlest way to start, especially if you've never used ginger as a nighttime remedy before. So if tonight you feel tired and fear waking up again at 2 a.m., I encourage you to try it. Prepare your infusion calmly. Sit in a quiet place, drink it with gratitude, and let the cozy warmth do its work. You may discover that something so simple has the power to give you back what you long for most, a full night's rest. Sometimes, when we talk about sleeping better, we all automatically think of something you drink. A tea, warm milk, a capsule. But I want to surprise you with a very different method that does not enter through your mouth, but through your feet. Yes, you heard that right. Your feet can be the key to sleeping deeply. The feet are like a map of the body. In traditional Chinese medicine, each point on the sole relates to an organ or a vital function. And even if you don't believe in those theories 100%, the truth is that we've all felt how a simple foot massage relaxes us immediately. Now imagine boosting that effect with something as powerful as ginger and as simple as salt. Allow me to paint the scene. It's 8:30 at night. You've already finished your tasks for the day. Instead of sitting in front of the television, you decide to prepare a small container with hot water. You add a few slices of fresh ginger and a good handful of coarse salt. Steam starts to rise, releasing that warm, penetrating aroma. You place your tired feet in the water, and within seconds you feel a pleasant tingling that runs up your legs. It's as if the tension accumulated during the day began to dissolve in that bucket of water. Why does this method work? The heat of the water opens the pores and improves circulation in the extremities, which is where older people tend to have more problems. When ginger is in contact with the skin, it releases its oils and active compounds which penetrate little by little, producing a sensation of internal warmth. And the salt not only helps relax the muscles, but also has a cleansing effect and balances the body's energy. The combination is perfect: heat, stimulation, and deep relaxation. Let me give you the exact recipe. You'll need a bucket or small tub in which your feet fit comfortably. Heat about 2 liters of water, hot enough for you to feel the warmth but never to the point of burning. Cut 5 to 6 thin slices of fresh ginger and add them to the water. Then add half a cup of coarse salt. It can be sea salt or even table salt if you don't have another. Mix well and let it sit for a minute. Then place your feet inside for about 15 to 20 minutes. While your feet are soaking, try not to get distracted by your phone or the television. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and focus on the sensation of warmth. You'll notice that after 5 minutes, your entire body begins to relax. Some patients have told me that at that moment, their eyelids already feel heavy, and they have an irresistible desire to go to bed. I want to share the experience of Theodore, a 69-year-old man who visited me because he had been taking sleeping pills for years. He told me, "Doctor, I don't like depending on pills, but without them I can't get a wink of sleep." I suggested this ginger and salt foot bath as a compliment. At first he was skeptical, but he agreed to try. 2 weeks later, he confessed that he had reduced his pill intake by half because he simply fell asleep before needing them. His exact words were, "It's as if sleep embraces me while my feet are in the water." Of course, you also have to consider some precautions. If you have advanced diabetes and have problems with sensitivity in your feet, you should consult your doctor first because hot water can cause injuries without you noticing. The same applies if you have open wounds or serious circulation problems. In those cases, it's better to opt for another of the methods I will share. An interesting detail is that this bath not only helps you sleep, it can also relieve leg pain, nighttime cramps, and that sensation of cold feet that so many older adults suffer from. By improving circulation and relaxing the nerves, the body interprets that there is no longer danger or discomfort, and then it allows sleep to arrive naturally. If you make it part of your nighttime routine, you'll see that your body will begin to associate the foot bath with bedtime. Just as a baby is bathed before going to the crib, older adults also need rituals that mark the difference between day and night. That is one of the secrets to sleeping better, teaching the body to recognize clear signals. Some ask me, "Doctor, can I add something else to the water?" Yes, you can. For example, a few drops of lavender essential oil further enhance relaxation. But believe me, ginger and salt alone are more than enough. And if you want an extra trick after the bath, dry your feet well, put on cotton socks, and lie down immediately. You'll notice that the warmth stays for several minutes, as if the effect of the ginger continues working inside you. I assure you that this method will not only help you fall asleep, but it will also give you a moment of peace and self-care that we sometimes forget to give ourselves. You don't need expensive gadgets or strong medications to sleep. What you need is to reconnect with these small rituals that bring us back to calm. Later, I will tell you about an even more powerful recipe with ginger, honey, and lemon, which not only helps you sleep, but also strengthens your immune system. But before we get there, I want you to imagine this scene. You with your feet in hot water, feeling your body let go, and then turning off the light with a smile because you know that tonight your sleep will be deeper. This method, so simple and within everyone's reach, can become your new ally. Try it this very week. Even if you can't do it every night, 2 or 3 times is enough to notice a change in your rest. Because sometimes the path to restorative sleep starts from the feet. Now we come to the most powerful method of all, the approach that I personally consider the crown jewel for anyone who not only wishes to sleep deeply, but also wants to nourish their health in a comprehensive, holistic way. I am speaking of nothing more complicated than a cup of ginger tea blended with honey and lemon. On the surface, it may seem simple, perhaps even ordinary. But do not underestimate it. This drink is far more than a casual herbal infusion. It is a therapeutic ally, a calming evening ritual, and a scientifically supported remedy that can ease the nervous system, strengthen immunity, aid digestion, and leave behind a profound sense of comfort that accompanies you throughout the night. That is why I often call it the doubly wise drink, wise for rest and wise for health. Let us create a picture together. Imagine that the evening has settled, and outside your window the world has grown quiet. Perhaps there is a chill in the air or the sound of distant traffic fading away. You step into the kitchen and place a few slices of fresh ginger into your favorite mug. Steam rises as hot water cascades over the slices, releasing that peppery warmth into the air. You add a squeeze of bright lemon, then a spoonful of golden honey, stirring slowly as the fragrances mingle. The sharp citrus note meets the spiciness of the ginger, and both are softened by the enveloping sweetness of the honey. You cradle the cup in your hands, feel its warmth radiating into your palms, and as you breathe in the aroma, you sense your body already beginning to let go of the day's tension. This is not just a beverage. This is a gentle ceremony, a whisper to your body and mind that says, "The day is finished. Now it is time to rest in peace." We must ask, why is this trio, ginger, lemon, and honey, so effective together? Ginger, as we have already seen in other contexts, is not merely a spice. It is a botanical powerhouse. Scientific studies have confirmed that its active compounds, such as gingerol and shogal, exert anti-inflammatory effects, support vascular circulation, and influence neurotransmitters associated with relaxation. When circulation improves, the muscles relax more easily, and the nervous system can shift from a state of alertness into a state of recovery. Lemon, by contrast, introduces a burst of vitamin C and natural antioxidants. This supports immune resilience, but equally important, it aids in balancing gastric acidity, a key issue because many older adults struggle with reflux at night, which can disrupt rest. The honey, that ancient and cherished food of the bees, has a direct impact on the nervous system. It provides a gentle, sustained source of glucose that keeps the brain reassured and stable during the long hours of sleep, preventing those sudden signals of hunger or restlessness that can cause unexpected awakenings in the early morning. There is also a deeper neurochemical story to tell. Honey has been linked in research to the release of melatonin, the body's natural sleep hormone. Ginger has shown potential to modulate serotonin pathways, preparing the brain for rest. Lemon, while less directly tied to neurotransmitters, contributes by reducing discomfort and refreshing the palate, making the entire ritual more enjoyable and easier to adopt consistently. Together, they form a trio that acts on multiple systems: the digestive tract, the circulatory system, the hormonal rhythms, and the nervous network. This multi-layered synergy explains why people across cultures, from traditional Chinese medicine to Mediterranean folk practices, have relied on variations of this blend for centuries. Now let us be practical. How does one prepare this restorative infusion? The steps are simple, but attention to detail matters. For 1 cup, you will need the following: 3 to 4 thin slices of fresh ginger, the juice of half a lemon, and 1 teaspoon of pure honey, ideally raw and organic. Place the ginger slices into your mug. Pour freshly boiled water over them and allow the infusion to rest for 5 full minutes. This resting time is important. It is when the hot water coaxes out the ginger's aromatic oils and active compounds. After 5 minutes, add the lemon juice. And then, when the water is warm but no longer scalding hot, stir in the honey. The timing of the honey is crucial because very high heat can destroy some of its delicate enzymes and beneficial properties. When prepared in this way, each ingredient contributes at its fullest capacity. Drink this infusion slowly, not hastily. The ideal moment is about 40 to 60 minutes before you intend to sleep. Think of it not as medicine, but as a mindful transition. Each sip should carry you closer to the feeling of calmness, the sense that you are allowing your body to cross a threshold, from activity into rest. Allow me to illustrate with a story. A woman I will call Margaret Johnson, aged 74 from Ohio, came to me with 2 persistent challenges. She had difficulty sleeping, and she frequently caught colds, leaving her drained and discouraged. We introduced ginger honey lemon tea as part of her nightly routine. Within weeks, she returned, her eyes brighter and her posture more confident. She explained that her sleep had become deeper and the constant awakenings in the middle of the night had lessened. But that was not all. She also observed that she was getting fewer colds and felt steadier energy throughout the day. Margaret smiled as she admitted that preparing her tea had become her favorite ritual, a small but meaningful gift she gave herself each evening. Such transformations are not the result of magic, but of steady, nurturing care. Another story is that of Richard Miller, a 68-year-old retired teacher from California. Richard had relied on over-the-counter sleep aids for years, but they often left him groggy in the morning. He felt trapped in a cycle of shallow rest and daytime fatigue. When I encouraged him to replace his nightly pill with a simple cup of ginger tea sweetened with honey and brightened with lemon, he was skeptical. Yet after 3 weeks, he reported back with a surprising discovery. Not only was he sleeping longer without interruption, but he was also waking up more alert and clear-headed. He told me, "Doctor, I didn't realize something so natural could work better than the pills I thought I depended on." Finally, let me share the experience of Linda Harris, a 70-year-old grandmother from Texas who suffered from nighttime anxiety. She described lying in bed with her heart racing, her mind caught in endless loops of worry. We added the ginger honey lemon tea to her evening, but also encouraged her to treat it as a calming ritual. Dim lights, slow breathing, and no screens. After a month, she reported not only sleeping more peacefully, but also feeling less anxious before bed. Linda said that holding the warm cup in her hands gave her a sense of safety and reassurance, almost like being gently tucked in by the tea itself. 3 different people, 3 different struggles, yet all found relief in the same simple, natural practice. What unites their experiences is not miracle, but consistency, trust, and the body's remarkable ability to heal when given the right signals. This method is not only about chemistry, it is also about emotion and symbolism. The lemon brings clarity and freshness, reminding the mind of renewal. The honey brings comfort, like a hug at the end of the day, signaling to the heart that it is safe to release tension. Ginger, with its warming strength, provides a sense of inner protection, as though the body was shielded from cold and anxiety alike. When united, these 3 ingredients create a balance between softness and resilience. This is precisely what many older adults crave. Not the force of harsh pharmaceuticals, but the harmony of gentle support. Many patients ask me, "Doctor, can I drink this tea every single day?" The answer is yes, but with mindfulness. 1 cup in the evening is sufficient. More is not better. Too much honey can raise blood sugar levels, an issue especially relevant for those with diabetes. Excess lemon can irritate sensitive stomachs. Ginger in large amounts can sometimes cause heartburn. Balance, therefore, is essential. In the right proportion, however, this drink is both safe and beneficial for long-term use. Beyond the recipe, I encourage you to frame this tea within a larger evening ritual. While the ginger is steeping in the hot water, take the opportunity to dim the lights in your home. Turn off the harsh overheads and switch to a soft lamp. Find a comfortable chair. Breathe deeply 3 or 4 times and allow your shoulders to drop. Offer a silent gratitude for the day that has passed, whatever it contained, whether joy or challenge. When you finally drink the tea, do so slowly, letting each sip affirm the care you are giving to yourself. In this way, the tea becomes more than a beverage. It becomes a signal to your entire physiology that the day has ended and rest is now welcome. Another question I often hear is, how long will it take to notice results? The truth is that the timeline varies. Some people experience changes in the very first week. Fewer nighttime awakenings, deeper sleep cycles, less morning grogginess. Others need a few weeks of consistency before the benefits become obvious. What matters most is persistence and trust. Your body is a wise system. It knows how to repair and balance itself if you provide the right environment. Think again of a garden. If watered irregularly or doused with chemicals, its plants struggle. But if tended daily with clean water and gentle nutrients, it flourishes. This tea works in the same way, not as a sudden sedative like a pill, but as steady care that restores equilibrium little by little. Modern science has begun to confirm what tradition has long intuited. Studies on honey suggest that its natural sugars promote liver glycogen storage, which may help maintain stable blood glucose during the night, reducing stress responses that otherwise disturb sleep. Research into ginger shows that it may interact with serotonin receptors, indirectly encouraging relaxation and mood stabilization. There is even evidence that ginger can reduce markers of systemic inflammation, which is relevant because inflammation is increasingly recognized as a factor in sleep disorders. Lemon, rich in vitamin C, not only enhances immune function, but also supports the synthesis of neurotransmitters. And when honey is consumed before bedtime, it can promote the release of melatonin, the very hormone that signals the brain it is time to sleep. Taken together, these findings provide a scientific framework for why this simple trio works so effectively. Let me emphasize another point. The benefits of this tea extend beyond the night. By waking more rested, you gain vitality for the day ahead. Energy rises, mood steadies, and mental clarity sharpens. You may find yourself more eager to walk, to read, to engage in conversation, to enjoy your hobbies. These are not small matters. They are the essence of quality of life. A simple evening habit has ripple effects that touch every corner of your daily existence. Of course, no remedy is universal. Safety must always be considered. Ginger, though natural, is not without potential effects. If you have diabetes, you must watch your intake of honey carefully. If you suffer from uncontrolled hypertension, ginger's circulatory influence requires moderation. If you are taking anticoagulants, consult your physician before adding regular ginger to your diet, as it may interact with blood-thinning medications. Individuals with ulcers or acid reflux should begin with small amounts to test tolerance. And if you are running a high fever or suffering from diarrhea, ginger may not be suitable at that moment. Balance remains the guiding principle. A little can be helpful. Too much can be counterproductive. It is important to recognize that this tea should never be viewed as a quick fix or an isolated cure. True rest and restoration arise when small, supportive habits work together. Think of the tea as one piece of a larger puzzle. Combine it with nourishing meals that emphasize vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and lean proteins, the kinds of foods that stabilize blood sugar and reduce inflammation. Pair your evenings with gentle walks or stretches that encourage circulation, loosen tight muscles, and prepare the body for rest. Align this practice with a regular sleep schedule. Try to go to bed and wake up at roughly the same times each day, even on weekends. These rhythms signal to your internal clock that sleep is predictable and safe. When integrated into such a framework, ginger tea with honey and lemon becomes much more than a pleasant drink. It transforms into a cornerstone of self-care, reinforcing the body's natural cycles, calming the mind, and building resilience over time. It is not only about falling asleep, but also about creating a lifestyle that supports recovery, balance, and long-term vitality. By now, you are familiar with 3 simple yet powerful ginger-based approaches: the infusion with rock sugar, the soothing foot soak with salt, and finally this crown jewel, the ginger tea with honey and lemon. My invitation to you is straightforward. Do not let this remain just knowledge stored in your mind. Instead, put it into practice. Choose one tonight and see how it feels in your own body. You do not need to adopt all 3 methods immediately. In fact, starting with one allows you to observe clearly how your body responds. Pay attention not only to the quality of your sleep, but also to your mornings. how you feel as you rise, how much energy you carry into the day, how your mood shifts. Imagine waking up tomorrow after a night of uninterrupted rest, free from the constant awakenings that once plagued you, with renewed energy and a lighter spirit. Always remember, rest is not an indulgence or a luxury. It is a biological necessity, the very foundation that supports your heart, your memory, your immune system, and the joy you bring into daily life. I want you to hold on to a clear and comforting image. Each evening, as the day draws to a close, a warm cup of ginger, honey, and lemon rests between your hands. Steam rises in soft curls, carrying with it the intertwined scents of citrus brightness, spicy warmth, and gentle sweetness. You inhale, your breath slowing naturally, your shoulders releasing the burdens of the day. As you take the first sip, your mind softens, your body quiets, and you close your eyes with the assurance that deep rest is near. This is more than a drink. It is a signal, a ritual, and a gift. Among all the methods available, this one shines as the most powerful because it combines both tradition and science, both nourishment and comfort. If you make it a regular habit, you will discover not only better sleep, but also a renewed sense that each night is an opportunity, a gift you offer yourself, a gesture of kindness, a ritual of care, and, ultimately, a moment of wisdom that enriches every aspect of your life.